In the cube shown, L and K are the midpoints of adjacent edges AD and AB. The perpendicular distance from F to the line segment LK is 10. What is the volume of the cube to the nearest integer? So first thing I'd like to do is draw some lines to illustrate what is going on. The first thing, of course, is we want to draw a line from LK to F, because that is what they tell us is 10. So here is F all the way till LK. And the perpendicular distance, that's the important part. So there you go, and perpendicular distance, so that means that this is a right angle, right there. And then now I will draw in a few more lines that I will need to use later in the question to figure out all the lengths and then therefore eventually the volume of the cube. So the next line is from L down to F. Now I will draw a line from L down to the bottom like that. And since L is the midpoint of AD, this will basically be the midpoint of that segment. So this is, let's say, E. And finally, one final line should suffice, and that is from F to E, like this. And there you go. These lines will help us solve this question. So let's begin. The first thing, of course, now that this diagram has been drawn, I need to give it some sort of a side length. I don't have any numbers, so I'll say that every side is 2x. Okay? The only thing we know in terms of integers is f to the line segment LK, and that's 10. So I'll label that in there. This green line basically is 10. Okay? Now let's figure out what is it that they want us to solve. What is the volume of the cube? All right, so the volume of any cube is the sides to the power of 3. Now I've let each side equal 2x. So 2x to the power of 3 will be 8x cubed. So if I can figure out the value of x, I will be able to solve this question. All right, so let's start this question in terms of our equations, most likely a whole lot of Pythagorean relationships. Now, LK is the midpoint, right? L is the midpoint of AD and K is the midpoint of AB. So that means this is x and this is x. So the very first step in this question in terms of solving is going to be figure out LK, this segment right here. And we, of course, we're going to figure that out in terms of x. So if you look at that triangle, of course, this is a right angle. So that means x squared plus x squared is equal to LK all squared. So that means LK is going to be 2x squared under the square root sign, and therefore LK is root 2x. So I'll put that in there, root 2x. All right? Now the next one I will figure out is LF. Again, using Pythagoras, we know LF squared is going to be 10 squared plus, be careful, this segment right here is not root 2x, it's half of that. So it would be root 2x over 2, all squared. So this is 100 plus 2x over 4, 2x squared over 4. So that would basically be x squared over 2 plus 100, all under the square root sign, is equal to LF. And then I think I only have to do 2 more relationships. The next one involves this triangle right here, E, G, and F. In that triangle, we can label a few things first. We know that E to G is x, because it's basically the midpoint of this line, E is. And g to f is just the side of the cube, and we know that's 2x. So therefore we can solve for EF, and of course this is a right angle. So x squared plus 2x all squared is equal to EF squared, like that. And therefore we have x squared plus 4x squared is equal to EF squared. And therefore 5x squared is EF squared. And therefore EF is equal to the root of 5x. So I'll put that in there. And then we have one final relationship now, and that relationship involves triangle LEF. This big one in the middle. That will be our final Pythagorean relationship. Now first I'll write it in and then I'll solve this. L to E is basically just the same as the side of the cube. So that's 2x all squared. E to F is root 5x all squared. And then L to F, we figured that out right here, is x squared over 2 plus 100 all under the root sign squared. So let's move this up. Now let's solve this. So we've got 4x squared plus 5x squared. Taking the square root of the root makes the radical sign disappear. And there you go. Multiply through by 2, get rid of that half. 8x squared plus 10x squared, x squared plus 200, like that. And then this becomes 18, and then if you subtract 1, you'll get 17x squared is equal to 200. X squared is therefore 200 over 17, and x is equal to the root of that. And in terms of a value, it's approximately 3.43. So great, we have x. Now we can figure out the volume. The volume, if you remember, was right here, 8x cubed. So the volume is 8x cubed. If you substitute x is equal to 3.43, you will get approximately 322.8. 322.8 is the volume of this cube, and the nearest integer would be 323. So 25, the answer is A.